Why does this not work? What the hell's going on with this thing? What? I'm a little confused. Can you guys see me? Wait a minute. I must say, I can't stand the filtering and all that of that other one, but that other one is so easy to navigate. You know, I'll tell you, it's more complicated, but um, there's been a shift in. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Mic check. What are those purple things? Anyway, I'll figure it out. Okay. Um, there's been a shift to a little bit of when she calls you. Um, she's going to want an icebreaker. Okay? Um, before it was like volatile, pissed off, calling, but not to say, you mother, you know, not like that. But she was going to be like, hi, you know, how are you? And then edgy. This time, she's going to call you with sad news. I don't know what the news is. I know it's sad. So she wants a way in. Sometimes when I'm not saying that it's fake or false, but I want you to think about something. Ever been upset with somebody? Coworker, friend, relative, and something happens and you kind of forget you were arguing, and the maturity level just allows two people to just talk about the thing, and then bygones let be bygones, right? You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like that with people. It's something like that, where she, you know, she contacts you and she sounds really stressed and upset and tells you sad news. Maybe about her parents, maybe about a sibling, maybe about, it's not going to be really about her job, you know, and it's definitely nothing with you guys. But it's something like that, that you'll understand. You'll be able to plug in and say, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Which paves the way for an easier repair. But there's still a warning in what you say. It's just different. The first one is that you could say something that when she's already on edge, you just, the way you say it just to completely pisses off, because she's looking for a reason. People that are upset, they kind of anticipate anything they're going to be told. They're going to chop it right up because they're pissed, you know. But in this situation, she's coming to you more docile, and then you can say something, and then when you guys start to talk about it, there could be something that you kind of say, because sometimes you could have foot in mouth. Don't get mad that I said that. You know, usually Virgo moon or rising sometimes have that sometimes, you know, the way they say things. And you could just rub her the wrong way. So you got to be careful, because she's edgy. She's not going to be like edgy, feisty, pissed off. She's going to be like, okay, this is awkward, but because I'm coming in with this thing, it's going to neutralize things. Yeah. Okay. I mean, usually I'm very like blunt or straightforward, but I'm not like crass in a way. You know what I mean? Like I do try to, I guess, respectfully say things. Like I'm very forthcoming, but sometimes I do kind of like watch how I say things because I'm really respectful for people. So I do, I kind of do, but I don't know. I take sugarcoating like when somebody just completely makes something negative sound like it's, a prize. Whereas I think I try to, I don't know, I guess like people have trigger warnings and the way that I say things, I guess I try to be very aware of how I deliver it. So yeah, I do sometimes do that. But okay. All right, thank you for letting me know. It's important because now you can feel even more secure that she's going to call you, because I don't expect you to believe me, and I get that. I understand. I get that. I'm a stranger, but the fact that it's going to be sad news does kind of, I mean, it's sad news for her, but it's not like completely devastating. She's using it as a scapegoat, I guess, or a way in. It means a lot to her because she's not fake, but it's also helpful in calling you as something important and dramatic because it also doesn't make her, embarrassed to reach out. And there's two things that makes a person not embarrassed to reach out when they don't want to. When they're angry and feisty and ready to confront, or when they have something really drastic or dramatic to say, and emotionally it kind of makes them be like, okay, I'm still cool. Because she's got a pride thing going. She does have a little bit of an ego there. All right, so that's important to note because it changes the flavor of things. And the warning is less. It's still there, but it's less for you. So let's talk about the outcome either way. So in this particular case, I have a change of the outcome. I didn't know that till I got to the end. Sometimes that's revealed all the way at the end. That's why I always check like twice, you know what I mean? Leave no stone unturned. Okay, there's a little bit of a change in outcome. Because she's coming in with sad news and it's a more tranquil way to address, the elephant in the room. The warning is softer because there's no anger on the forefront. It is internal. And what can then be the cause of you saying something offsetting would be awkwardness where she doesn't understand how to take it. Which would mean that there's a delayed response because she could misunderstand. Which means that then an argument can sprawl and there could be distance, but I don't think anything too severe. Whereas before it was one side of the coin make it, the other side of the coin break it. Now, new news that I see in the future. I can see, and I don't like to mention this kind of yucky stuff because it's TMI, but I see smoochies, okay, and it's already in the reading. So if you were wondering if that was possible, there's some smoochies coming up in the future. Now, I do see a repair. I didn't see that before. I see it now in this part of the read. That's why I do this other section. I do see you repairing 100%. Now there's something that's going to be occurring around February. And something can kind of go downhill around that time. So if she reaches out in October, somewhat, let's figure this out ballpark, okay? You've got the rest of October, November and December, and January and February. So that's a good chunk of time to see each other. That means she hasn't moved away far away yet. Besides, I don't see her moving until the end of 2026, something like that. And that's still iffy because she's planning on it in the next couple of years. And remember that I took a long look at her future with astrology. I looked farther. And the things I said about the destiny of moving and all of that, that wasn't right away. That was in different segments of time. So you can't confuse that with the other timeline. That being said, I see the good news I have to deliver is that I already see a repair. And I already see the, kissy stuff, which is going to lead to the repair. Because some people can just leave it at that, and then they go in circles, and then it gets, hot and cold, and then confused feelings and whatever. This goes right into that. So then once that happens, the good news is that this is a smooth transition, where before it was really, you were not over. Because I told you, I said, you're not over, but I just don't see this clear cut happening right within the next couple of months. There was going to be longer skip time. I don't see that now. I mean, unless you count the time you didn't speak. But the warning is that in early 2026, there's a problem with this relationship. And I didn't see that last time. So this is an update. So I do see that you will have a large issue that can break things. Because I see a very difficult patch of time where you try to glue it together, and it's weighing you down a lot. So I would say that by the springtime of next year, it's the hardest part. So we've got October, November, December, January, February, something like that. So what's that? Autumn, winter, at least in my neck of the woods, those are the seasons. Autumn, winter, and a piece of, it's still winter. And then March, April, and May would be spring. And by then I see a lot of probably another breakup there. I mean, I don't know for sure how it looks because that's so specific and I'm seeing it so vague, but I know it's there. And there's a warning around February for sure. And it goes downhill. I just don't know how severe. So, there's nothing you can do to prevent that outside of trying to speak the same language, trying to be, logical things. They are not really in the spiritual, they're just with logic. When two people are communicating and one instigates something that pushes a person's buttons and they don't see it, a lot of times without spirituality, without tarot cards, without anything, common sense, most of the time, when two people are interacting and one gets upset, they're gonna say from their mouth what it is. It's just a matter of how the person receives it and responds back. So you will be hearing what bothers her, what she didn't like, and you will be acting according to your character. But if you take into account and are hyper aware of what response she requires to have this inner calmness, you may be inclined to adjust. And that will bring either peace or storm. And that remains to be seen on how you guys carry out, you know, the relationship dynamics and those personality triggers and things. Because I see that in some ways you merge incredibly, and in other ways you are volatile. There could be just completely things where you clash. Oh, I see what you're saying, 3 to 4 months. Okay. So that would be that. Only this time, when she goes to, if you end up breaking up, because I see a tough time, I'm not candy coating. So I'm going to say it like this, because if I saw that it was a for sure breakup, I would literally say it severs. I just see that it's a terrible downward spiral where it comes very close to just closing a chapter. I don't see it as drastic with that same feeling that I had when the first scenario that was going to play out. This one's less dramatic, but one thing I can tell you for sure, I don't believe you last more than 2026. If you needed to know those specifics. Oh, hello. Hello, Regal. Nice to meet you. I'll answer you in a minute, okay? I'm just doing a reading for my clients. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. No, I meant for that gap of getting together. So, okay, so let me explain how I mean it in my head. Let's just take the edge of the glasses and make this like a timeline, okay? So this is the current time right now. And this is like as far as I was looking in astrology. And then like maybe this is as far as I was looking in time, you know, with the reading that I was in. So you break this down in little spots. And I was focusing in this gap of time. So I should mention, of course, what this is. So maybe like 20 years here, something like that. 30, 20, 25, 30, more or less, I think is what I was looking at. And then like here would be like, 7 years, something like that. So what I zoomed in this section, like 2025, 2026, and a piece of 2027. So this is what I'm concentrating on. So it would be these little sections in time. And if you zoom in, this is just like 3 months, the next 4 months, like that. So if you think about it like that, I was saying that in the long term, I didn't see that it would work like completely. I see there's even going to be different people for her and you, and that's going farther. Because there's areas in that timeline where there were warnings about how she can jeopardize your assets and you can be broke in a scenario in another country. But that was way out there. I mean, we don't even want to look that far because there's so much to live through that it's kind of silly looking that far, right? Now, and that would kind of be kind of pretentious, right? Because it's not anchored and it's not, it throws people off when I play out scenarios that are that far out. let's go back to like now. What I see now is there was going to be a situation where you can either flip of the coin, make it or break it. If you broke up, I would see you got back together one more time, but then that would be it. That would be one scenario. This one, I see that you do repair. You go to a very low dip, and it may sever it, but I don't think completely. I think you have one or two more cycles of runs, and then it doesn't work. But I'm still framing it in a certain time gap. Does that make sense, or do I sound like I'm just cryptic? I hope I'm saying it right. Oh my God. I should use like I don't know, visuals or something. Okay, good. Thank you. You understand Lucy-lish. Oh my God, you speak Lucy-lish. That's so wonderful. Okay, so okay, so it ends with you. So that's a good sign. Okay, a couple more. One more thing. Reading doesn't close. Almost there. We've gone through everything. Remember that relationship that you had that was very terrible? I'm sorry you had that, and I'm sorry to be bringing it up. I apologize. But just from my astrological brain, was that in Aries? Was she in Aries? Okay. Like sun, moon, rising? Was she in Aries at all? What about her moon? Do you know what her moon was? Yeah. But her moon or rising, do you know? Hey, Regal, I'm doing a reading for a client. I'm sorry. They paid a reading, so I have to focus on my customer. I'm sorry. No, that's okay. Yeah. I'll do it real quick. You could just go to moongiant.com, but by the time I explain to you where to go, this is the one I tell all my clients that don't have like pro astrology software because it's expensive every month. Where to go like for free. I'm always giving you guys like free resources. Just give me the month, day, and year. So scroll all the way down. Give me the month. She was born what, January? And then yes, you can wait. There was another person that booked with me. I forgot their name. I'll look it up in a minute. They were waiting for me, and they are next. I apologize for that. January 18th. You know the year? Okay, 18th. And the year, and then I'll tell you her moon. Yeah, you just go to Moon Giant. It's really, really cool free site that I give people. Oh, Sarah. Yes, you. Wait, the Sarah that I know? Well, I know about 6 Sarahs, but they never go by Sarah. I mean, Goose, is that you, Goose? I call them Goose. 1990. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's a Libra moon. So she was a Libra moon, so chances are if she was a Aries rising, which we would not know. Oh, that's not you? Okay, because there's another Sarah K, but I call them Goose. It's a funny story. Okay, no problem. I'm so sorry for the wait, sweetheart, but know that I'll give you the same attention. Okay, let's see. And of course, if you fall asleep or have to go eat or you have to go, uh, I stream. You can always reach me on Instagram. You can DM me, or I have a bunch of ways you can get a hold of me. But Instagram, I answer right away. Or if you want to write me here, I can answer you here as well. You know, I ordered a reading. Are you gonna hop on? I get that all the time. Okay. Okay. So she's a Capricorn Libra. So she may be an Aries rising. I hope she wasn't, because your soulmate is an Aries, I believe, correct? So that means that you haven't met her yet. Oh, no worries. No, no, no. You can write me on here too. So the forms of communication is YouTube or IG. I don't blame you for deleting IG. Ugh. IG, YouTube, and also my website link on Linktree. There's a contact form. All of those are fine. Okay. So I'm glad, because your soulmate was in Aries. That means you are, and I already saw that there was someone you were going to meet that was meant for you, but it was a while away. I don't mean a while like a long while, but don't forget that either, okay? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's in Aries, I believe, when I looked in your chart. Yeah. Okay, so the reading doesn't close that, so I'm sorry that I interrupted by asking you that. It was just important. The reading doesn't close, so let me find out what it is, and then do you have any other questions or concerns while I'm doing this? Have it ready, you know, so that I can address it, because I'm going to be closing the reading, but I'm going to see what this is about, okay? Okay, so the warning is, are you ready for this one? It's interesting. Don't propose. Here you are ready to propose. I'm not laughing at your situation. Don't misunderstand my laughter, please. I'm laughing at the irony of it. The fact that cynically you wait, it hasn't been the moment, now you finally want to. Right, right, not to. Because that means this gives you a clue that you will be in a situation where you will want to. And it's saying don't. It can cause, we don't know why, but you will soon know why as life unfolds and you will meet the one that is coming. I know right now that sounds like hogwash, and it sounds like, who cares? This is the one you want to follow till the end of the earth. This is the one you're focused on. And you know what? Focus on her. This is what you want. She's going to call you. You guys are going to happen for a while. I hope it lasts, but I'm just being realistic to you. Do what you want, but there's always a reason. And I'm telling you, I'm advising that you shouldn't, but I'm not telling you what to do. I just want to be very clear. Sometimes you wonder if you're stuck in romance or limerence. Limerence? Limerence. Limerence. Immerence. What? Is that a typo or is it me? Am I reading it wrong? I've never heard the word limerence. It sounds British. Was that a typo? Oh, there we go. Oh, you mean no, you will. No, 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 no. Absolutely you will. Oh, wow, I've never heard that term. Nice. I like that. I'm trilingual, so any new word I can learn is wonderful. Good. Limerence, wow, okay. So thank you. All right. So when it comes to you're not going to stay in that condition. No. You're not going to stay like that. You're not. I know it seems that way. So here's the part where I'm not candy coating, okay? But I don't want you to feel. I think readings should help people. And I think that if they take you too much into the future, I mean, I don't care. I'll do it anyway if you want me to. I already have. But I think if you know way too much, I think doesn't it stress you? I don't know. I've heard that people don't want to hear past a certain thing. They want to like live their life. So I don't want to paint the picture, but at the same time, how do I warn you? Like, I'm happy that you're going to repair. I'm happy that you're going to have another round at things. But what do I do? It's the reading is saying, tell him not to propose. And there's a very valid reason for it. We don't know why. We can speculate all day. But at the end of the day, this is to help you. And we don't know what that can do to her. I'm playing out a scenario. Do not take this as part of the reading. This is just logic. But what if she decides, hear me out, what if she hypothetically decides to, plan for something and put a deposit down? Or make a job adjustment because of what you do and the ring and everything, or just the proposal. The ring sometimes comes later, and then it doesn't work out and she blames you terribly. Why'd you do that? You're a liar. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. Like, I'm not saying that's it, but if you're telling you don't do it, don't do it. There's always time, and you can always wait. But I think, number one, it's because it can cause a major, major problem, because she's the type of person, and I'm not trying to judge her, but she's the type of person that, she's the type of person that when she plays the blame game sometimes. Like, she'll just tell a person off, and, Capricorns can be drastic like that. You did this, blah, 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 it's your fault. You're not going to hear the end of it. And it's really going to put you through the ringer. We don't know why. But I don't think you should take it to that. Not when something is so unstable. The makeup and breakup and makeup and breakup and da-da-da-da. And now she could just shut you out and break up with you and leave. That's not a way to keep her. You do that when you know something is solid. Don't go against your gut. Your gut has always told you they need to feel like the right one, but it needs to make sense to your lifestyle too. And you know damn well that it doesn't fit. Yeah. So that's just, oh, that's cool. We're talking about someone else that's a Capricorn. An interesting. Hi, how are you, Cassie? All right, so that would be it. Yeah, the reading closes. Do you have any other concerns or worries, Techno? So, okay, and with that, do you close? Okay, so something is happening in the reading. The reading finally closes, and there's one more curveball. One more important, wait, what'd you say? Okay. Hey, Regal, so let me explain. You have to buy one, but I can answer a free yes and no with a crystal ball, but you have to wait between readings. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a paid reading. I don't want to be interrupted. I'm sorry, but I will get to you. I'm very happy to answer your question for you. Okay, but long reads like this, they have to be purchased. All right, with all due respect, thank you, but I'll be right with you. David, what was I saying to you? Oh my gosh. Okay, one more thing before the reading. So the reading already closed, but I have one more thing to tell you, unless you have a concern. Okay. You're being told not to ignore the woman that is very interested in you. There's a female that is extremely interested in you. They are massively in crush with you. They are crushing on you very much. And you should not ignore that. We're not talking about the one that was told that was dismissed already. Wasn't that the one dismissed already? There was one that was dismissed and one that kept coming up, I think, the first time we met. Or maybe it's someone else. I don't know. If the one that you're talking to if you were told something negative or toxic about, I don't remember, then you don't go backwards with that. It could be, I don't know, I'm not sure. There's someone who's very interested in you, extremely romantically interested in you, and you should not consider them. That's besides the point. Right, so if there was a warning about somebody, it wouldn't be the person with the warning, because that was already very clear. But it's talking about, let me find out if it's because of a romantic situation or because of a warning of something else. Hang on a minute. You see, did you just follow what I said? Or did I lose you? I mean, it was total Lucy-lish. I don't know if you got my weird communication. Did you follow what I said? It was a little bit jumbled. I can repeat it so you can follow what I'm doing. Oh, okay, you say, okay, you got it? But I think that's old. All right, let me just tell you, okay? Spirit, do you close? No. Is there a warning? Yes. It's coming in from that you shouldn't ignore a female that's into you. So I automatically thought when a woman's into you, okay, they're crushing on you. Maybe it's because it's a romantic scenario, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's a more sinister reason. Maybe it is the woman on the phone online. And if you dismiss her, she can do something wacko that you don't need. Let's find out. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You'd never take anything for granted. Let's find out. Is this the romance one, or is this the sinister reason? Because remember, the warning was given, but it can be interpreted either way. And something's pulling me towards the sinister. And I had that weird thought. Let me scope it out, okay? All right. You know where it went? Oh my God, where'd it go? Oh, okay. Check it out. It's the sinister one. That's why I always, I use my, in case you're curious, I use my clairvoyance to read, but it's like this inner, it's another clair, if you want to get technical. And it always pulls me back when I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but then there's on top of that, the clairsentient, which is so strong, it like yells at me and it just stops me in my tracks. I knew it. I wasn't the romantic. I was saying it and I go, oof, something's off. It's the sinister. Check it out. Double a yes on it. Okay, here we go. The woman that you're talking to online, the warning came in. It said it like this: Spirit, do you close? No. Is there a message? No. Is there a warning? Yes. What is the warning? Don't ignore the female in communication. The female in communication interested. So I thought, okay, he could be friendly with a couple people, whatever. And maybe it's the yoga girl. And I thought, well, maybe it's somebody else because he's single right now. So whatever. But then you're like, I'm only talking to one. And I go, well, they wouldn't tell you don't ignore the one that you were warned about. But then that's when this feeling washed up in me. It was so strong. And I got this weird feeling in my stomach. And then I said, wait, this is sinister. So it is. It's saying that if you, apparently, when you start connecting with Sierra again, you're going to stop this communication with this one. And the one with this one, you've been on high level with the one online. I don't know what high level means. What do you mean high level? Like, I can interpret that in so many ways. Speak Florida, son. You talk in Canada. I don't get it. Actually, I have dual citizenship, but because he's my dad's Canadian, but it's funny. Okay, so anyway, I should get it, right? No, but seriously, here's the warning, okay? The woman online, don't ignore her. Like, don't, like the way that you deal with her, be very, very, okay, so high level means that you're both vibing high, right? You're both getting along. You have it at a high level. Okay, I see. High level, I thought was like, let's see. Anyway, never mind. My interpretation of it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. My link, it's my website link, which is my link tree, and it says shop, and it's got all my stuff on there. It's $15. Yeah, it's $15. Yeah. You said not talking in any detail. I forgot what we were saying. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Anyway. So high level, I thought it meant something else, like when you are talking about like a lot of philosophy and intellectuality and things that are just, intellectuality. Did I just butcher a word? Yes, I did. Oh my God, it's late. You know what I mean? I just thought that you were talking about a lot of different things, high level, like bonding at a high level, like, stuff. I get it. I get what you're saying. Okay. So the warning is saying do not end communication, or be very aware of how you end communication, because she can do something vindictive. So I had to ask if she would call Sierra or do anything to deal with Sierra. And the answer was no, it's not that. I asked if it was something related to your job. Not that. Whatever it is, be careful, because she's a loose cannon. So 1 minute it's very wonderful and you're talking, and if she decides that you cut her off or whatever, you ghost or detach or whatever, you will not get a good response from her. Remember when I said to cut it off with her, like basically like just like, it sounds so weird. When I when I said just like don't like be careful with her, like don't really deal with her too much. And you kept talking to her. I mean, no judgment, it's your life. But I'm just saying, remember I kind of said be careful. Now it's escalated. So there could be something she does that is sinister. So sometimes people do things to humiliate or something like that. Okay. Remember that it could be her or it could be anyone else you start to speak to online, because it says the warning is coming in with a female that communicates with you and is into you, but it was not clarified as to who. And the one that you were talking to online that you have kind of still remained, it is not here nor there, but she may not be the only one. I don't want to anchor it and say it's that one. I want to say it's a warning saying be aware of how you deal with females that like you a lot, and you're talking to them or you have some form of communication with them and you really don't know them to the core like you think you do. Because there could be something where their reaction, I mean, they could have a screw loose. You want me to not candy coat it? Okay, they could have a little marble missing, okay? And you don't want someone who's delulu cuckoo. So it's to prevent you from a bad experience. I believe it's the one that I warned you about already because I didn't like her anyway. But just in case, if anyone else checks that list off, warnings are set and then they got to play out. So you either prevent them by behavior or you escalate them by behavior, by choice, as you continue, the lifeline, the destiny. So as you come in contact with these events. So I want to, anchor that it's her. We know it's not the nice yoga one because that's a romantic interest and it's benign and it's fine. It's the ones that are interested in you and they're coming in as toxic. And I want to tell you something else. Back up and look at this macro version, not micro version of this reading. This reading is because you are into Sierra. That's who you want. But that's not the only romantic choice for you, just for you to know. There are many fish in the sea, and it's just that you're choosing this one. So we're super focused on her and how that, all the good, the bad, the ugly with all of this stuff. But don't think this is the only thing. There's a lot of options for you, and then there's someone new as well that's very important, or coming into the picture big time, in the next 2 years or so. Anyway, just wanted to mention that. So yes, be careful with that one, but just don't say, okay, I'm good. I was careful with that one. I'm good. I'm fine. No, be aware. There's someone you're going to meet that's a little bit, all right. I was dealing with someone not that long ago, overseas, online, one of my clients, a new client, and they seemed, the first time I met them, I had a weird feeling, but I just ignored it, which stupid thing to do in my line of work, right? And I kept reading for them, and it kept bugging me, and then Spirit said something, and then it kept coming up, kept dealing with them, and long story short, liars, not well, the whole shebang, and I had to pull the plug on that one, but don't make it, and they seem really cool at first. So you just gotta, pick up on that with your radar, all right? And just don't take it for granted. Oh, they're nice. Oh, there's something a little off. You'll see it and just don't ignore it. And just, so this is someone who would be vindictive and try to humiliate. Doesn't mean that they will get very far, but they try, just in case, all right? To spare you a negative experience, okay? That's about it, really. There's nothing else unless you have something that is confusing you. Yeah, so it's not going to be someone who calls you for your job because they only want to hire you. It's not going to be someone who wants to buy something from you because that's just a sale. It's not going to be someone who visits your family because that's just, a familial connection. It's coming in the romantic arena. So it's a woman that thinks you're cute, and then when she wants to talk to you, or she wants to get along with you, she wants to date you, she's responding, she's flirting, she's looking to date. It's someone that comes to you with that type of connection, right? And you communicate, and she's Delulu. And that's when if you don't pay attention after you start warming that connection, plugging out of the situation on your terms, like going silent, going dark, ghosting, whatever your technique is, you're gonna have a volatile experience. Like, it's just not gonna be okay. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, what's her problem? And loose cannon kind of thing, right? So something like that, a bad experience. Now, there's a chance it's the one you're talking to that was a warning about, but I don't want you to leave the reading and just think, oh yeah, no, it's her. No, no, no. You got to be aware of it until at least a couple weeks, a month or so go by. Be aware of what this is, okay? You can, because you were warned. I don't remember what I said to you, but definitely whatever it was, you should go, that direction. But now with this coming into the picture, aware of it. You should have been doing that anyway from the, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, like, reading wise, you should have already addressed that a while back, because this, yeah. But anyway, okay, so you know that. Anything else that you need? Is there anything else you need me to clarify? Correct. So it's not anyone who wouldn't be interested in dating you. So let's do the additive inverse. It's anyone that would be interested in dating you. Anyone that would be crushing on you or anything like that. Yeah. But it's not anyone that already has never gotten a bad warning. So the yoga girl, she's fine because she actually came in as a positive energy a while back. So it does not include her. And it obviously is not Sierra. I don't know who else it would be, but you have to open your mind and kind of broaden your scope to not, to avoid, yeah. But the reading today's date is also going to keep playing. So that means you can meet someone 3 days from now, or a week, or 2 weeks. Because Sierra and you, it's going to be a little bit before that starts up. So you don't know who you can meet, you see? So it can be her, but it can be anyone else that steps into plate and can fit the description. So you have to look at it like that. That's how you understand readings. The problem is when you give a reading and the person is so hyperfixed on one thing, they miss other things and they go, oh my God, why didn't I see it? Well, because you were being very specific. You got to step back a little bit and be like, okay, I got it. Correct. So just to be careful how you deal with them. It's not that uncommon that a single guy dating once in a while can bump into some really strange loony. It's obviously you meet a lot of other like keepers and not keepers, but then there's those weirdos, and there's something just not okay, so just be aware. Yeah. Oh, no worries. No, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is a short read. What's short about this? Sorry. It's just my short reads are gotta get shorter. It's my fault. It was a weird, like, I've had so many things to do this week, and I lost track of time, but I usually just these take about 15 to 20 minutes and I'm out. But that's okay. Yeah. You should have done that already. FYI. You should have, like, when you said to find a way to end things all softly, you should have been starting it. I don't like her. I do not like that woman. No. Please, no. Don't be silly. No. I'm very. I don't do that. No. I'm straight up. You buy the reading and that's it. Nobody owes me anything, or I'm happy to do it. No, it's my fault. I'm off schedule today. Usually I'm right on it and I have a timer and a quick thing, but that's okay. I'm not like that. I'm moody. One day I'm right on schedule, and the next minute I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" So don't worry about it. I'm happy to give a good service. I just want to hear the good news already. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, and thank you for your patience. All right, so Sarah, I owe you a reading. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, for the wait. These are supposed to be 15 to 18-minute readings. I'm taking so long. But I will give you the same courtesy tonight. Tonight I'm doing a crazy time. Yeah, no worry. Don't put pressure on yourself, David. Yeah, you don't put pressure. I think that I don't think you should. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I don't think you should, because it's the wrong time. Don't get readings as you're bored. If you're going to get readings, make sure they matter on things that are relevant. You still have an entire process of future to work out with Sierra. Focus on that and live your life. And because you have to be healthy with readings. If not, it affects them. I'm not one of these people that pump out readings. I tell them, spirituality, you gotta sometimes chill. If you want to get readings because you feel that you love readings, I think that they should be on different things, like maybe other things that are paranormal that you're interested in, or maybe it's something ancestral, or maybe it's something, family stuff, or interesting things that interest you. But I think that it'll be appropriate to get the soulmate reading when you have lived through your story with Sierra and you feel that it's the right time. Time will let you know. Live your life. You can get readings on things that worry you. You can get readings on things that you need clarity on. Readings are for clarity. When a person's confused. If you're not confused, you're fine. But trying to get more info about the future, you're trying to cheat life. And I always say, don't make it an addiction. Readings are healthy. You got to keep them in check. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Okay, you and your ex-boyfriend. Thank you so much, Techno. I still call you Techno. Have a good one. Oh, you need clarity. Okay, good. Yes, I agree. All right, so let me go ahead and clear the energy. Let me go ahead and shuffle the deck and get ready to focus on you, Sarah. Okay, so usually these readings are, the short reads are 15 minutes. Sometimes they could be up to 18 if it's really complicated. But it's usually 15. But tonight I'm doing crazy extended readings on them because I'm off schedule and it's a long story. I'll spare you. Okay, so focusing on you. You and your ex-boyfriend broke up in June and it was such a healthy relationship and he just let you out of nowhere. You just want to know if he will get back together or if you should move on. Okay, so I appreciate you telling me this story. Just to let you know, the type of story, I always tell people, don't, when you meet me, don't tell me too much. Just you should never tell psychics your backstory until the reading opens and then you see that they've addressed one or two things where you go, yes, okay, makes sense. This is communicating. And then you can open up a little bit if you feel more comfortable when they've kind of proven themselves. Because if you tell the story too much, they can take advantage. So psychics are supposed to tell you information. So never say, you're supposed to say, you want a reading on your ex-boyfriend. That's it. That's what you want to know. And you can say, if the person says, well, what about your ex-boyfriend? You can say, oh, well, are they going to rekindle? Are they still interested? Or you can say, no, I just want to see what comes up about the ex-boyfriend. Something like that, okay? And that's it. They got to tell you what's going on. But anyway, let me see but I appreciate, your honesty. Okay. So one more time, okay. Okay. Did you ever find out why he left you? Because maybe I can shed light on it. Or did you already find out? Not by another reader. Excuse me. Did you already find out? Oh, it went down the wrong pipe. Not by another reader, but like by your own real life looking into stuff. Like, did you already find out why he left you? Because if you already found out, I don't have to go through it. But if you are curious, I can try to find out why. But some people, they'll get readings and then say, oh, this other reader told me I was going to this. No, leave that alone. I don't care about any other reader. I care about what comes up when I read. Or unless it's your real life stuff that you are aware of. All right, that being said, you get ready to type. Maybe there's a delay. And I'm going to start with an energy check on the relationship. So the ex-boyfriend, if you don't want to give me a name, can you give me like the, oh, okay, it's really confusing. Okay, I can try and see, okay? I'll fit that in. Usually I do that with my big readings, but don't worry about it. That's important, and tonight I'm doing like weird timing on these readings. Okay, so Ben, okay. 1 second here, I have to change it. All right, so this is on Sarah and Ben. He's a Capricorn. Okay, and your sign? I mean, I don't need signs, but since you're giving me his, give me yours because I'm an astrologer as well. Okay, you're Aries, he's Capricorn. Okay. Were you dealing with an ex that he didn't like? Or somebody in your past, like a friend or a relative or an ex-boyfriend? Was someone trying to be in the picture or get close to you while you were in the relationship with him that was annoying him, invading his space with you? Okay, let me tell you what I see in the energy check. So the energy check is a way that I use, it's a type of divination. It's called astrology, and it's reading with dice, which is calculations. But they're made of crystal as well, so it's lithomancy. Not that you wanted the trivia, but I thought I'd share. So it's just what I read these to look at kind of like the quick story. I want to break the ice. I want to start reading and connecting with the client. So I use this as an icebreaker to kind of see the story, the big story. And this shows a man that is very married to his job, very married to his career. And it talks about leaving kind of with a chip on the shoulder, because this is where he tells himself that he's convinced that you're not going to change. So this is when a person says, I'm wasting my time. They are resistant to what I'm asking. What you're not, he's very, very demanding, very controlling personality. Okay. And I'm seeing that here's you. And when I'm looking at this reading, I'm seeing that he's pissed off that there's someone invading your personal space, and he was tired of it. So that can be conversations with your mom. That can be being close with a sibling. That can be if you talk to an ex and you guys were friends. That can be, I know that you said you had friends and he didn't like them, but it has to be strong enough where he's pissed off. And it has to be something, sometimes it's not a person. Sometimes it's what you do or you indulge in or your job. It's like when a person, this is what I'm seeing, and I'm going to say it in a silly kind of simplistic way, but bear with me, okay? It's like when I should get little finger puppets, right? It's just funny, okay? Anyway, it's like when person A says, hey, how are you? I'm in a good mood. And the other person says, well, you're pissing me off because, all you do is this and I want you to do this. Well, I'm not. This is my way and I don't know why you're telling me that. And then the person says, okay, I don't care. It's what I want. So it's almost like person B is trying to like control. You said, no exes, but he left me the night I went out with all my friends. Okay. And I wouldn't go home with him. And he freaked out. He was never like that in the beginning. Okay. So you see now why I said that he's pissed off, and what came up was like a disruptive something or people or something that he felt was invading your space. I hope I said it right in the beginning. You see? Because I think it took you a little bit to understand me. So maybe that was my bad. I'm not sure the way that I was explaining it. But you see how like I was trying to explain it, but I think you got it when I said it again. Okay. So that's what it is. So basically you're talking about someone who feels like you're not going to bend to his ways. So this is the type of person that when Thanksgiving comes around, I'm just giving you an example of the energy that I feel. This is not literal, this is just hypothetical. This is the type of thing that like when Thanksgiving comes around, he'll take you to his parents' house and you have to help the mother in the kitchen and you have to help her make a certain type of casserole, and he won't have anything of it. Next year comes around and he tells you have to do the same thing. It's one of those people that kind of like hold you to a pattern, what he wants, what his style, what he had in mind. And if the freedom that you're supposed to feel within reason, you're not acting like a bachelorette, you're acting like a girlfriend or fiance or something. But to him, it's like, how dare you? Like you're invading my space and you're defying me. He's giving you rules. These rules are ridiculous. He's supposed to say, have a good time, sweetheart. No problem. I'm going to go watch TV. I'll go home. Bye. I'll pick us up some ice cream so when you get home. Bye, sweetheart. That's normal. Or, no, I'll hang out with you. Don't mind me. I'm going to be reading something here in the corner while you guys have a good time. You're my girl. I want to make sure that you get home safe. Something like that. That's what's normal. Not the way he acted. So that's right away I'm getting the fact that he's pissed off because he's not going to deal with you. He's angry that you defied his rules. And that's what I'm seeing when I read this reading, okay? So we already have an answer why he left. It wasn't because of the particular night. That night was the cherry on the sundae. The reason that he left was because you had a continuous list of things that was pissing him off that defied his rules. And that didn't happen overnight. This had been building. And it wasn't just going out with friends, it was other things. So that is why he left. And the fact that he is obsessively, he saves a lot. There's a person that probably saves a good amount of money. He's very savvy with his money, and he has goals, financial goals. Okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to go on to the next section. That's possible at the deep root, at the psychological level. Accepting love and having issues with attachment may be the case. I'm not a psychologist, so my mom is, but I'm not. Not for me. I don't like it. But I would say that it's possible. But I'm not finding that it was because of that. You know, I stick to the psychic part of what I do, and I'm going to go by my feelings. I'm not doubting you by any means, because you know him, but I feel very confident in what I'm saying. I feel that he is spoiled. He was raised probably with something that he had to prove. A lot of Capricorns sometimes have a very difficult situation with the mother being accepted, and is a thing, and then sometimes the father's just not present, or the connection is difficult. There's a struggle sometimes, and they have a chip on their shoulder many times. So yeah, and I from what I'm seeing, it's more from that. It's more from making the woman he's romantically involved with, it's almost like she's culpable in his eyes to kind of like fill a void that nothing else has been able to fill. So not only is she supposed to be his lover, his wife, his partner, his wife, mother of his children, if you have kids or whatever, right? Domestic, all the things. But then on top of that, she has a job to fill a void that's been there since childhood. And I think that's where the problem comes in. Not doubting your avoidance, but it goes deeper than that to mother issues. Okay? All right, now, so let me find out. Do you know anyone named Travis? I just heard the word Travis. That's all. In the reading. So it is relevant in some way. Maybe there's a friend or something. Maybe there's someone he's talking to. Maybe it's something related, but that's okay. That's okay. It's related to the reading. So this is about him. It's not a big deal, but just for you to know. Okay. Sorry. I'm thinking and reading, and I'm just really into this. I'm so sorry for my silence. Yeah, it's just a small warning. That's my word for like warning, but it's also a word I use when the client's gonna get a small unpleasant experience. That's all, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is. So this is about him and you. Is he coming back? The answer is no. Um, the reading is shifting from love to something else. And I'll go back to him because that's why you wanted the reading. But, very rarely when a person gets a reading and there's the spirit world wants the client to know, uh, some other things about their life, they pop up. Like I don't do generals like this, but we really can't control. Spirit's gonna say what spirit. But I will address the love thing, obviously. Okay, so just give me a chance. Let's get a little bit of a curveball here. It's not about him. Let's see. Let me. Okay, so this. Let me see. Do you have anything going on legally in court? You don't have to tell me your details, but like, do you have anything that's being disputed in court? Something that, for example, it can be a lawsuit, it can be a sale, it can be a purchase, it can be something that has to go through the legal system, like solidifying property or loans or credit, or sometimes when there's credit, it has to be paid off. Is there anything that is dealing with a procedure that has to do with finances, that is up in the air right now and you're trying to see the solution for it? Okay. Is there anything that can, I'm not trying to get into your business, but you know what? I'm not going to ask you this because it's going to put you on the spot and that's not fair to do. I'm going to talk about it like giving you ideas, okay? You don't have to answer it, all right? What I'm seeing here when I asked about you and the relationship, the reading starts off where the person is, there's something negative happening with money. Sometimes this can be when a job and a project is jeopardized and the person shows up to work and they cut their hours. It can be when a person, gets something repoed because they owe it, It can be when, like if they have a school loan or they're paying something off, and it can be, this is something unpleasant with finances, but let me see if it's directed at your job. It's not with your job. Could it be something with him? I think so. Could it be, because this, yeah, it is. It is. This is definitely, I'm telling you that it is. Yes. Okay. The Capricorn can make a big deal about what you owe him or something. If you shared anything together, did you ever have any assets? Because this brings it. Do you have anything that you shared together? No? Okay. Let me explain something to you. I don't know your story, okay? But I've been doing this for over 30 years. So my intention is to help you, but we're going to figure this out. Let me give you an example. The reading that's coming in is first talking about the person going through an unpleasant experience, and it has to do something with finances. And I start looking and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, it's not her job. And it's not this, it's not that. Okay, is it interwoven with the Capricorn? Yeah. You don't share anything together. Could it be that he saw something in the mail to be vindictive? Because this has come out in other people's readings. I've read for people that, the boyfriend is really angry, and to be vindictive, he'll throw away an envelope or a bill that comes in or an email, and they'll delete it so the person forgets to pay for it, and they don't. It can be something like that. Because it'll just to be like, oh yeah, she's gonna be late on that. It kind of like to sabotage, because this is, I'm gonna see what this is, the future. So in the future, okay, but it could be because you're heartbroken over him, some way, somehow. What you're Hold that thought. I'm going to get a little bit more clarity. Hold that thought, because I expected to do love, but money came in. So we're going to flip this. Give me a second. Okay. You're going to have some money loss. Okay. So this is my message. The first thing I see in your future is that you're going to have some money loss very soon. It can be an item like a car. It can be jewelry. It can be something that gets repoed. It could be something that had, the credit situation, you owe it, and they take you to court to get it back if you don't buy anything expensive like that. It can be medical bills, but then again, medical bills doesn't mean that you lose money. It just goes against your credit more. It would have to be something. It could be actual money, cash, although it's not your job. So don't think it would be hours or anything with your payroll or schedule. I asked about that. That was eliminated. So it's not your job. So it has to do with him. So either he did something vindictive, or because you are heartbroken over what he's done to you, you forgot to pay something, or you forgot something financial, or you procrastinated something and it got worse because your head was messed up because of him. You're emotional is what I mean. Okay. So it could be that. Okay. And maybe you got behind on it because you were in a stressful situation. Ever heard somebody say, oh, if they can't eat right because, they can't work out or eat right because they're stressed out because of their situation, their relationship, or they'll say, no, work is not going right because of the relationship or whatever. Okay. Sometimes people get one part of their life really stressed out and it hurts another part of their life. There is a connection between the Capricorn and this issue that you're gonna have very soon. So if you fell back on payments, maybe he was stressing you, maybe you forgot about things, there's something there. And it's just letting you know, unfortunately, that you're in jeopardy of losing something unless, it's addressed. Now, let's go on to the next one, but let me make sure that one is complete. It's not. So that means this was weird. That's why this is a little bit, we got to address it. Got to see what it's about. Okay. Give me one, what else is about it? Okay. So you don't have anything shared assets, nothing that you share in the name. Okay. Okay. Complicated. Here we go. I'm going to tell you the advice coming in, and you do what you choose. You do as you want, but I'm strongly advising to give you the best clarity, okay? Oh, hi, Robbie. Nice to meet you. It looks like it could be your vehicle, okay? Because it's your vehicle gets you to work. That's important. Is the reading is saying that you should, now this, don't get offended or don't get upset, okay? I'm just telling you what the reading is saying. This is saying that it would be in your best interest if you asked him for some help to pay the car, and to apologize to him and address his feelings, because his feelings are very hurt. It's just the way that he's dealing with it. Now, you might say you did nothing wrong, and it sounds like he's the jerk, and you might be very proud and as a strong woman, and you don't want him paying your things, and that's very respectable. But the reading doesn't look at ego. The spirit world giving clarity is not about egos. It's not about what the person wants. It's what's best for you. And you do what you feel. So a reading is saying she's going to go through this hardship. And the way out is simple, but it would take this move. And then the person might say, well, I don't feel that way. I forget it. No. But the reading only knows how to give you a result that is better. Over and over. Of course. The way you're doing it is not what he, the way you're doing it is not what he likes. So I'm not saying get back together with him. I'm not saying apologize so that you can be boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm saying, okay, so it's very difficult for me to, because I'm the type of person that, I would be like, yeah, you don't need anybody else's stuff. Do it yourself. Bye. He's an idiot. Bye. It's about pride and ego, right? But in this particular case, instead of it's all about what's a better outcome for you. You keep your car, you pay it, everything's going to be better. You keep working, you could pay him off, you're done, and then you go in a direction that makes you feel happy. And then you solved your issue. It's like you're standing on this crossroad and you look down one path of destiny and you have a story where you end up with all these troubles, and you end up with another one where you kind of like jumped over those hurdles and you arrive at the same timeline, but one path you're doing really well and the other one is horrible setback. So my job is to kind of say, okay, this is coming, do this, it's better for you, but I don't really know about egos and feelings and everything. So the way you're apologizing is to kind of get back, right? Romantic. But it's saying, oh, sweetie, oh, I know, don't say that. Don't say that. No, sweetheart. So in one, instead of apologizing him to kind of be his girlfriend again, you can just say, I just wanted to apologize to you, not because you want to get back together, but because I really need a friend. And I will pay you back, and I just need you to help me, and I really need to work, and it's important, and I apologize. I trust you. We did share, time together, and I really have no one else. Could you please help me? And for him, it wouldn't be a problem. If you don't want to do that, I respect it. But know that if you go, I just don't want months to go by and you pop in the reading if I ever see you again and you kind of tell me that all these things happened, like the trouble and the, it's harder, I'm still going to look into the relationship, but right now let's get you getting clarity on what's coming and the best way to deal with it, okay? Now, let's go to the next section, and then I'm going to go to the love part. All right? Go on, I'm not going to forget you know, the love of him and you, and if it's going to work out. I see he's leaving in a romantic way. It's just, I see that he's gone in his interest, but we'll see, okay? Is there anyone that you are seeing right now? Or some kind of flirtation? Because I see that someone can break your heart. So I know this is about the Capricorn. I get it. Okay. But I see that there's either in the near future, you're going to be okay. Right. So the flirtation that's coming up, you got to realize why this came up. Excuse me. You got to realize why this came up. I hiccuped. I have an air bubble because I drank my tea so fast. You got to realize why this is, you know, you bought a love reading and you wanted it on the Capricorn. But then I see this other guy come in. It's not that the reading didn't know to talk about the Capricorn. It's that it's you are in the center and everything around you with love is going to come up. So there's a warning that this guy can let you down. So just be cautious on how you proceed with maybe going too fast, or maybe, you know, whatever. If he gives 10%, you give 10%, maybe take baby steps, you know, because I think that this can take, you know what I'm saying? All right, now, so just be aware, use a lot of wisdom, and nobody's saying stop talking to him and whatever. I just be smart, because this is already saying there's some issue there, okay? All right, let me see. 1 second here. So on the plus side, there's some good news here. That's That's not good, sweetheart. The way that you, the way. Oh, sweetie, I see what you're saying. I don't think so. You gotta slow down. You're in Aries. You're on overdrive. You gotta relax. The social media that you look at and the friends, the way you're looking at it, the grass is greener. Um, you're just of a mindset right now that's not serving you. It's not healthy to think that way. Um, Sometimes when you kind of surround yourself, yeah, interesting. If you are 5 seconds on TikTok, they let you know that you are too old. They let you know that you have to buy something new, or they scare you with food items. So it's either a health scare, or how old you are, or you have to consume something new on TikTok Shop. When you're on Instagram, they make people feel poor. They make people feel like they have to get into something new and follow a new trend. And they look at people and compare their bodies or their homes or their cars or their lifestyle. And it goes on and on and on. If you go on this one and you look too much, it's going to make a person feel like they have to show their life and window dress it, and share private things and exploit their personal space so they could be noticed. And it's not healthy. You have to limit your time online, which I'm very, very happy you did that. A little bit is fun, maybe 2 hours a week, maybe two to 4 hours a week is healthy. And doing a lot of things in nature and celebrating you. Surround yourself by things that are very healthy. And if the friends that you have paint a picture that is there, they're probably not there. It's probably not what you see. This can drain you a great deal. Exactly. One day it can be gardening or botanical gardens, the next day swimming, the next day long sun walks. There's so much to explore. Right in the neck of your neighborhood. Like, you don't have to go to all these extravagant places to travel. There's a lot of things. Oh yeah, you can book one for tonight. So it's 5:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by my clock. I'm doing the last paid reading of the evening. I'm going to answer a free question when I'm done. A free yes and no. It's not a reading, but I do like to give freebies sometimes of answers. You're welcome to ask one. But if you want me to look deeply into it, my readings they start at $15, which is a great price. And it really, I have all kinds in my shop, and you're more than welcome to click on my website, and I take all forms of payment. PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, all those things. All right, thank you so much, Robbie. I'm sorry about that, Sarah. So I honestly, feel that, one day you can bake and cook, the next day watch a really good movie, the next day work out. Start loving you, celebrating you. Surround yourself by, take a break from the friends if they make you feel that way. Rearrange your clothes, the colors you wear, the fragrances that you use. Maybe move furniture around. Maybe add a new splash of color. to your walls. There's so much inside of you because, it's not what you see in social media that draws you, but what if you never had that? And what if what if it was just without that world, which is fun and it's so exciting online. But then what about the organic self? So I think cooking, baking, gardening, walking, working out, uh, just having fun, reading a book, watching a movie, and then see how you feel and take a break from people for a little bit, like for your friends, just a little bit, just take a breaker and see what's in here. And then try to do something with your hands, something crafty, whether it's adult coloring or sculpting or art or something like that. I think that would be really interesting, and then see how you feel afterwards. It's like taking a little break and relaxing, because I feel that you're exhausting yourself. It's a lot. And if you still feel very stressed, maybe a spiritual cleanse. That's not for everybody, but some people really benefit from it. It's a series of baths and candles that are for spiritual. But if you're not too spiritual, it may not connect with you. But I do sell those things. But like I said, it has to come from the person to connect with it. There's a lot of things. To put a positive spin on this reading, there is some money coming your way. So yeah, there's some money something, is a difficult hiccup with something financial. Yeah, there's a hiccup with dealing with moron for a little bit. Okay. There's some love sadness that doesn't last long, but then something turns around for you. And this talks about very soon after these things play out in order, you get some money relief. So this can be a new job, this can be a promotion, this can be just, I don't know how money would enter your way. Usually when it's this stable, it's usually one lump sum from something, or it can be, that you earn it. So sometimes it's like won and sometimes it's earned. So if it's won, it would be something like if you play, jackpot or something like that. If you don't do those things, don't push it. It's going to come in naturally. I would say it's with work. So I'm going to ask if it's job. It is job related. Okay, so that's where it's going to come in. The problem is, I don't see it working out with you and him as boyfriend and girlfriend. But so this is what I see. There's two. Well, first of all, you got to deal with him in the right way right now. So let's do this in order. Right now, as of today's date, the best way to handle him is that you have to start practicing an apology that he wants to hear. You can't apologize to him because you want him to apologize to you, because he's going to say, okay, that's not genuine. So you're going to have to be, what's that word? Humble. That's so difficult, right? Kind of like swallow your pride, which I said in the beginning, I hate telling anybody to do that kind of crap because it's terrible and it feels terrible, but then it gives you results that are worth more. So in this particular case, the way that he needs to hear it, he needs to hear what he wants to hear. And if he hears what he wants to hear, he's going to see him soften up a little bit. Now, let's talk about step 2. I see that there's going to be a gap of time, a short gap of time, because you still have to deal with the heartbreak from the one you're talking about, the one you're talking to, right? Because there's going to be something negative with that. Then the money comes in. And then of course you have dealt with the Capricorn at this point if you decide to do the thing that we talked about in the beginning. So those all play out in depending on how you play it. The thing that's going to come up after this is the fact that if you can connect with the Capricorn in mind and heart and you can connect and apologize to him in a way that he wants to hear it, and you don't hold him to, because the way you've been doing it, he doesn't like it. He has shut it down several times, right? So you don't want to try a fourth time in the same style. It's not working. You know, you got to try a new way. So, yeah, you definitely have to find a new way to make it. So if you naturally stay the way you are, and you know, your style, the way you talk to him, the way you want to apologize, the way that you've been doing it, it's a pattern that's going to repeat. I don't see it working out. If you can change your perspective and your perception on both of you, I do see you have a chance. So it's terrible because it's like, it's almost like I'm saying, oh, Sarah, it's your fault. Oh, you're this, you're that. I'm not. But I'm trying to tell you very, very clearly that I'm, you know, if you change the perspective of how you're dealing with him, you will get a different result. Some people are ending and there's no connection. That's it. It's done. And I tell them, sorry, I don't see it happening. And some people are just connected so well that I say, you know what, you're going to break up and then you're going to get right back together and you're going to be fine. In this particular case, I'm saying to you, unfortunately, a lot of it is in your hands. There are still feelings that can come back, but anger blinds feelings. So if I were to ask, which I did, deep inside if he has feelings, and the answer is yes. But he has them so down, suppressed in the basement of his heart because he's pissed off. He's like, how could she do that? I can't deal with it. I'm upset. I can't deal with her. She drives me crazy. Why da 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 da. So he's not going to think all lovey-dovey feelings. You got to appease that, and then he's going to soften. So it depends on you. You're the one that holds the key, unfortunately, and it sounds like you have enough pressure on your back. I'm sorry to put it that way. Oh, hey guys, I'm happy to answer your questions, but I'm in the middle of a client read right now with Sarah. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so that covers the whole reading. It answered your question, is he coming back naturally? No. It has to be worked on by you. It is, but it's how you do it. My suggestion is that you wait for the moment of, like I said, the financial one. I can see, let me see something a minute. Yeah. I suggest that you wait for the right time. So, for example, I don't know if you were noticing the reading that I was doing to Techno about, like, David about a couple of minutes ago, or, you know, when I was doing that other reading. It's a good example because I think you were there. Notice how I said that sometimes when people are upset and they don't talk to each other and it's volatile, but like when they shared a past together, someone comes in and you call and you tell them like something that's really devastating and the person's like, oh my God, I hope you're okay. They kind of like forget the fight. If you let some time go by and you let things cool off and you reach out to him when you need the help and you kind of have like an opening again of how, you know, it's going to be softer because it's not like, oh, forgive my apology. Oh, let's get back. It's more like, hey, can you help me? All right. How you doing? All right. And then, look, I just want to tell you, blah, 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 you know, I really was wrong. And this and that and that. And, you know, kind of make him feel like, okay, she's finally saying to me what I felt. Because he feels you don't see it. He thinks you want it to be even, and he apologized to you, and you apologize to him, and you want it even and fair. He doesn't want that. So let me see what you're saying here. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so, okay, you said, Okay, I don't know what else to do, but I definitely think me reaching out again is a good idea. Isn't a good, you said, but I definitely don't think me reaching out is a good idea. Right. So it's, remember that it's time sensitive. So I'm not saying reach out today, tomorrow. I'm saying to let things cool off a little bit and reach out when you know, with what I talked about, with the whatever that financial thing is that we talked about. So he doesn't like me calling him and apologizing and trying to make things work. Right. So remember that we talked about in my findings, you know, in what I am finding here, it's not about reaching out and apologizing so you can go out again like a couple. It's not going to work that way. He doesn't want an apology, let's get back together. He wants, I, Sarah, did this. I, Sarah, made you feel this way. I feel that, I understand, I thought about it. And I feel that that's what you thought. And I understand that, you know, you want to stay, you know, not in a couple, you know, and I get it that you want to stay broken up, and I understand. I just wanted to let you know that I realized it. I finally realized, it took me a while, but I finally realized I wasn't seeing that side. He's going to be like, oh, okay. I'm not reaching you to get back together. I'm reaching to just tell you I'm sorry. But you got to let things cool off. He's got to hear a side to you he's never heard before. Like, you really got to reach in there because you did some damage. Not that it's on you. I feel bad you went through this. I think he's a jerk. But you want the jerk back. So you got to speak the jerk language, right? So if you want a job at a really difficult place and they are notorious for treating people like crap, but you really want to work there, you're going to have to like fit the mold. You want this guy back. No, I'm not telling you to change you, but you got to fit the mold. You got to walk the talk. You got to do the things that are going to, if you want him back. Now, the funny thing is, I am seeing that it would be to your benefit to kind of repair things with him. That's the funny part. I think it's not because he's the one meant for you, but I think that there's going to be something where there's some kind of symbiotic balance that breaks up from this. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. By repairing something with him, it elevates you to a better situation the way you feel, and I think you're going to go to the next level of your life. There's going to be like something more enjoyable that comes along. But if you're down in the dibs from it and you feel negative and you feel like all the doors are closing, you're not going to reach a bigger potential. I really feel that the way forward is to kind of make your life as easy as you can now. You know, it sounds like there's like a lot of negative things. So you said, okay, so he doesn't want, okay. And then you said, I called him when your dog died a few weeks after you broke up. Oh, you poor thing. He told me to stop screaming and hung up on you when I needed him the most to be there. He didn't care. I guess maybe that's my answer to everything. He is, okay, so he is, I already told you that at the beginning of the reading, the first thing I said to you flat out was that he's spoiled and that he's controlling. Remember when I did the energy check? I didn't know the story. I didn't know any of these things. Okay. And I said to you, he's very controlling. I don't like his energy, you know? But you care for him. You want him back. And I understand. It also talks about a situation where he can help you out because it's about you being in a better situation. Let me see something. And I know the heartbreak thing sucks. And I know that's coming up too with the other one. I know that. I understand, but things are going to change. Okay, it can't rain all the time. Give me a second. Yeah, confirms. Okay, so let me explain something to you. Psychic readings are because, see, a relationship therapist, they're just going to give you their university education on what to do based on the psyche, human thoughts, decisions, right? They don't see the future. So that's my job. I'm a psychic. So I don't do the whole psychological thing. I do what I see in the future. I'm going to give you clarity, take it or leave it, okay? What I see is destiny-wise, is that you like this guy. This is how I see it in the reading. You like this guy. You tried to make it work. He's a jerk. He's demanding, he's controlling, but you like him. You're in love with him, and you're a softie for him, and you try. It hasn't worked out. And I see that you're going to be entering some difficult situations financially. And for some reason, by you dealing with him or being his girlfriend, or at least starting to talk again, repairing the connection, right? I see that it's going to lift you, not only the way you feel, but there's going to be something beneficial by being with him that is going to just preoccupy you, because there's something better coming. And if you're not with him, the way you're taking it is so down that if you are down a lot, you're going to surround yourself by negative energy. So, people here, he talk about evil eye and all these things. It was very true. But a person can also cause their own Debbie Downer kind of like bummer energy. And what I'm trying to tell you is, I see that you should try to repair things. He's not talking to you right now. I don't mean right now. That would be crazy. I'm not saying pick up the phone and, or text him, or that's obviously he's being rude and shut you off, and he treated you like crap. Your doggy died, which, by the way, I'm very sorry. I hope he's resting in peace. But, it's disgusting that he would do that to you. How self-centered and freaking cold. Come on, that's horrible. How do you have no heart? He's selfish. Okay, that's how I began the reading, telling you. But I'm seeing, but you still have feelings for him. So what I'm telling you is, at the right time, very soon, you're going to have a situation where you ask him for help. And I want you to start it off by, like I said to you, the style that I presented to you. I have this situation. I really need your help. And I wanted to also let you know that, it's that that I don't blame you for doing, breaking up and everything like that. I now see what I did, and let me show you what I want to share with you what I realized. Okay, what? Okay, I realized this and this and this and this, and this is how you must have felt, and I'm very sorry, but I just wanted your help. I can, this and that, and it's because of my job and da da da. Okay, here, because I see that he will say yes. Okay, very different situation than I'm sorry, I think, because it's begging, and what he's going to do is just a cold person is going to shut you down, just like his mother treated him. So I want you to change it at the right time. That's the key point here. You do it at the wrong time, he's going to be rude again, right? And I also want you to be alert from this other idiot who's, I don't see it's a good connection, okay? I'm not saying cut it off, but I want you to be aware. Now, good things is coming, like I said to you. Now let's tie this all in. What am I saying? I'm saying that this man is not meant to be in your life. The Capricorn is not really going to work out with you long term. He's not the one that's supposed to be there. Good. He treats you not very good. So I'm glad he's not your forever person, okay? I know you feel for him now and you're in love with him now, but he's not. There's much better options out there that are coming, all right? And there are many fish in the sea. But right now, I feel that you should still repair with him in the way that I explained. Why? Because there's going to be a small gap of time. Why is it that I'm not saying to you, oh, just be single, forget about him, you're going to be fine? There's something you're going to have a little bit of bad news, and then good news comes in, and you're going to be fine. Because the reading is saying there's something you benefit by connecting with him. There's something that is, there's something that for some reason, this is why we turn to the spirit world. This is why this gives clarity. We don't have to know everything. But why? you were just told don't go out after midnight, or you were just told don't eat from that person's food they're going to offer you. These are the things. These are the things they're saying. Try to repair. Try to repair for a little bit, but don't think you're going to have this forever and this love. No, no, no. Repair and balance. It doesn't have to be boyfriend, girlfriend. It just means repair, because there's going to be something he helps you with that at the time you really need. And the result is the outcome that you're in a better place. So I want you to think of a mentality now. Aries women, they're usually really smart, really independent. They do their own thing. They don't need help from anybody. They're not like that. Aries, they do their own thing. So it's very hard to tell an Aries woman to, but I want you to think about like gold diggers and trophy wives. It's like, what the hell? How can they do that? Everybody thinks they're nuts, right? It's like, how can they do that? But they get all the bells and whistles, and there's no way to live this without love. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they look back and they're like, oh yeah, I have all these things. So sometimes you have to think in that survivor mode. This is a situation where he was your man, treated you like shit. You're going to have a hard time situation. You need the help. It's going to make your life better. It's just a little opportunity. He's good for it. It's okay. And then you move on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Today, this doesn't make sense, because today you're just sad and upset, which you're allowed to be. You're human, right? I respect that. And today you just want him back, and you just want to know, can you count on him? Is there a future with him today? But when your life keeps going and you start understanding the reading more, you're going to be like, okay, I get it now. Today it sounds weird, but you will understand with time. And it's not going to be too far. So I don't see, to answer your question again, I don't see a future with him romantic. I see that you can improve through a couple hard hiccups with repairing it at a friendly level, and then that would be it. So don't bank on a future with this man. All right, sweetheart, I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much. Is there anything, I don't leave cliffhangers, is there anything you're worried about, confused about, upset about, anything you need me to address before I close the reading? I mean, the reading closed, but like before I close, is there anything else that you want me to clarify? I see you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, for sure. For sure. And you need to get out of this. Besides all this, you really need to get out of the funk that you're in. You have a beautiful life ahead of you. At 28 years old, your mind is thinking like you are 50, which is still young. But you don't see that today. You will see that later. Relax. Relax. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Celebrate you. Celebrate you. Love the skin you're in, and love every moment and every day of your beautiful life. There are people with no legs. There are people with no feet. There are people that are dying. There are people that have, they can't make it financially. There are people in horrible situations. I read for people that have some of the darkest scenarios, unfortunately. Good people that are just in horrible scenarios. You're just a young woman who is trying to, raise her life, but the grass is greener. You've been seeing a lot of toxic content. You're dealing with a lot of people that seem on the outside like they have it together, but they really don't. And I read for people. And in my line of work, I'm telling you, yes. There's this poem, there's this poetry that says, I cried because I had no shoes, and then I saw a child that had no feet. So you think that it's horrible and the end of the world for you. And it's not. Life has not, I'm taking from an astrologer. I read life stories all the time. The reason that the right door hasn't opened for you yet is because it's not meant to yet. You know, you got to realize you are where the universe wants you to be, or God, or the gods, or whatever you believe in. You are where you need to be. Oh, yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I do sales packages. I do. I'm an astrologer, so I read natal charts. I read horoscopes. I love astrology as a specialty of mine. Vocation is another specialty. I do all kinds of things. I've been an astrologer. I've been doing this over 30 years. So yeah, I love that stuff. And like I said, I have different prices. My store is always getting, when you click on the thing, I'm always adding new products and stuff. They're all there. You can scroll down and stuff. And sometimes like combine like tarot and astrology, or sometimes people will have like specific questions. I also have on my TikTok feed, I have like free stuff I'm always doing. I do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But I want you to be happy, and cut this crap out. Stop it. No more. Tomorrow's a new beginning. Have a deep sleep, and tomorrow is a brand new beginning. Drink calming teas. Maybe, change your diet to something more wholesome. Relax more. Celebrate. You need to go back to you. And stop like living your life absorbing everything around you. Stop and feel more. Go back to you more, because your eyes are observing pictures and photos and people and scenarios, and then but you're just letting time go by with you. So your life seems faster. You got to calm it down and enjoy every day of your life. So you have tons of years to have a very happy marriage with somebody. Tons. You're only 28. You're fine. There's women having babies at 50. Relax. There's more women having babies in their 40s. Relax. You still have all your 30s. Relax. You silly girl. You're going to be fine. Listen to some music. Make a playlist. Music is the purest form of art. Meditate. Go enjoy rainbows and rain clouds and birds chirping and butterflies. All right? You're going to be fine, kiddo. All right, sweetheart. It was very nice meeting you. Thank you so much. All right. There was a gentleman that had a free question first, and yours as well. So go ahead, KCMR. What is your question, sweetheart? Let me go ahead and neutralize the energy. What is your question, sweetie? So this is for KCMR. You have a question? Oh, Kiki, or KK. I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't see your question. I don't know if you guys left or not. I'm sorry. All right, I guess she left. Oh, no, there it is. KCMR is asking, is your ex Nixon going to ever unblock and reach out to you? Okay, so this is KCMR with Nixon. I feel that you're going to speak again. I feel that I know that you're going to speak again. It's just that I see that you're going to enter a spat. Like when two people are talking and one of them gets like, kind of like hostile and picking at the person, and like before it escalates into an argument, but like it kind of gets like nitpicky, like, well, I told you this, and da, da, da. right before you feel like that, you know. So I feel that it's still hostile between you guys. I do see you're going to talk again, but I feel that there's something rocking the boat. So you got to work on that. I'm not sure your scenario. If you want, we can read. I'll do a love reading next time, okay? My prices are $15 for short reads, all right? I have tons of stuff in my store. All right, guys, thank you so much. Oh, you have a question, Kiki? I have a question. Will my inheritance come in September? So inheritance questions are probates. It would be under civil law probate court, and it's a legal reading. If you want to book that with me, I can look into it for you. You have to have legal counsel. Okay, so it depends if there was a revocable living trust, assigned estate, and everything like that. Ladybug deed, it depends how it was dealt with, because those are legal questions. So those kinds of things are different than like career, love. Okay, they're legal, and I do that, but I do it through a actual reading where it's a process. I don't do that with yes and no, because there's a lot to it. All right, sweetheart, thank you so much. There's going to have to be a probate. If you have an attorney and it's waiting on inheritance, it's unless there was a will. It's a whole thing. I see what you're saying, but I would still have to do a reading because it's a case. Cases are not just about yes and no. It's about giving you more than that, the information. How's it going to go? Is there going to be a curveball coming up? Things like that. Yeah, that's why I'm not trying to be difficult, sweetheart. It's just that's the real way you do it. Yeah, anything legal. Yeah. Now, at the same time, you have every right to talk to your attorney. I mean, they charge every time that you have a meeting, but you don't have to have a meeting. You could just say, can you just let me know on the status, please? And that's it. They let you know the status, and that's it. If it's a reply, sometimes the receptionist will do that, or the paralegal, and that way they don't charge you. Okay, because if you want to talk to him or her, then they charge by the hour, and you don't want to rack up your bill. All right, so you could just ask for a status. They work for you. All right, thank you so much, and I'll be back.